Hi, my name is Christopher Harrison. I am in Project Portfolio 4, and the game I'm showing you today is Tic-Tac-Toe. I didn't rely on any video sources for this project. The scripts I more or less did on my own. Alright, so right now I'm going to show you the game, then I'm going to show you the script. So, right now we're in the first scene, which is the main menu. You have three options. You can either start the game, read the instructions, stated right here. You can press the back button to go back to the main menu, or you can quit out of the application altogether. So let's start. Alright, so now you have the board. It starts off automatically on player 1, and whenever a player presses one of the spaces, it deletes that button for that space and it moves on to the next player. The X's and O's are determined by whichever player is currently going. So we press O, X, O, X. First one for 3 in a row wins. You can reset it from here. Let's see, the O's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Player 2 wins. Now, when you hit a tie, let's make a tie right now. It shows up right here. It's set up so that way when all the buttons are gone, it will automatically go into a tie. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but I'll get to that in a second. You also have a pause menu. So in the pause menu, you can go back to playing the game. You can read the instructions again, just to go over it one more time. You can go straight back to the main menu. You can reset the board, so let's go back to play, pause, and reset. There we go. That's basically it for the game. Now let's move on to the code. Alright, here's my script. I tried to keep everything within one script to make it easier. Right here are the variables I set up. They're all public, so that way I can access them from Unity. The public game objects for the player text, the bools for the turns, the score system. Originally I had a score system set up, but I couldn't figure that out, so I decided to comment that stuff out. Here's the victory information, the bools, the game objects for the buttons. I'll get to these two in a second. The pause and instructions button, variables, and the X's and O's. Now, originally for my game idea, in order for the tie function to work, I needed a parent object for the buttons and a parent object for that parent object, and I'll show you why in a second. So right here are the functions. I place them in the start menu, or the start function. Here's for the pause menus, here's for the individual buttons, again the scoring system that I had to comment out, and the pause and reset function. I create a reset function so that way the players can just reload the scene without having to actually reload the scene. Right here is the win conditions, top left X, top middle X, top right X, and so on and so forth. Same thing with the O's. I did this for all 8 outcomes, and when it happens, player 1 is set to active and all the other buttons are set false, so no one can just press another button and continue on with the game. For the tie function, when all buttons are inactive, it'll set the smaller parent inactive, and the tie function is in the update, so we'll keep checking to see if the X and O buttons, like the major parent for them, are active, and if the smaller parent is inactive. And when that happens, it's set to a tie. Down here are the buttons. It checks to see if whose turn it is first before actually going through. If it's player 1, it'll turn the X to true and switch player turns. If it's player 2, then it turn it on true and the switch player's turn. Then it'll set the button inactive. I did this for all the buttons, so they all have the same code. And right here is the reset function. Again, I said in this function I set all the variables back to the original setup. Yeah, down here is the some more button functions for the pause menu, the instruction button, the back button for the instructions, the play button, and the main menu, as well as the quit application. And that's about it.